This is a demonstration developed in partnership between Arden GEM CSU, Anaplan and Manchester University Foundation Trust. In this demonstration, we'll be giving an overview of the benefits of an integrated business planning platform within the Anaplan cloud-based planning technology. What we'll be doing in this demonstration is largely focusing on workforce and trying to highlight some of the benefits of taking an approach of planning within Anaplan versus, say, a process largely driven by Excel. So let's dive in. It's not uncommon for planning processes to be largely spreadsheet driven. And here's an example of one potential template where users are required to capture individual information about the workforce that takes place within an organization, job planning for certain staff groups such as consultants or senior responsible clinicians, as well as the capacity that is available in various settings, whether that's outpatients, inpatients, or diagnostics. And we can see that this has a lot of scope for manual data entry, which can increase administrative burden. We can also see how under this world there's a potential for multiple different spreadsheets to be collected, whether that's different spreadsheets needing to be collected by different sites, as well as over time. Say if you have a November update, a December update, a January update. And actually collating all of this individual spreadsheet information together can be challenging and make it difficult to see the bigger picture. We believe there's a number of benefits of instead bringing this information and bringing this process inside a single planning platform such as Anaplan. And this is what this demonstration will talk through. So what we'll do is we'll start with some ways in which you might capture workforce information in Anaplan. So let's imagine I'm starting my December planning information and I'll look at North Manchester General Hospital. So currently me as an end user, I can have access to 2 potential sites here. And it might be that you choose to have direct connections to underlying data sets such as ESR, where you could import your foundation data from ESR to bring through default information for your different staff, their ESR numbers, their staff groups, their bands. And really it is for the organisation to tailor, well, what is the information that can be captured by ESR versus the information they would like to capture for planning purposes within the Anaplan platform. So in this example, we can see how staff group band whole time equivalent is taken from ESR, but the specialty that an individual works in is set within the tool, as well as the responsibilities that they have. And it really is down to a process owner to decide which things should be manual entry, which things could be automated. The platform is flexible for both. Similarly, you may decide that actually you don't want to bring all staff in through ESR because maybe there's a reliance on, for example, agency staff who aren't captured within ESR data. So again, you can directly add workforce into this platform. So what I'm going to do in this example is create a new staff member who we'll call mmouse with an example ESR number. And again, as I'm doing this, you can see we can kind of pre-configure the drop-downs to reduce data quality errors in terms of people, typos, not setting things correctly. So I'm going to add this person to North Manchester General Hospital. They can be medical dental. And let's say they're a consultant who's working at a C5 level and is 1 whole time equivalent. And by having this fairly user-friendly input form, call them mmouse2, we can see this person has now been added, and I might be able to select that they work in a trauma and orthopedic specialty with responsibilities across outpatient and inpatients. So let's navigate back and see how information can flow through. So in this first example, we've seen how you could have direct connections to ESR that reduces admin time of needing to manually enter data. But we can also have connections between different areas. So let's say we need to do job planning and we know job planning needs to be done for certain staff groups, which may be consultants. Again, we can have it so that there's direct links between different areas of the model. And we can see all of our consultants who are in the workforce page have automatically been pulled through so that an end user can select information around their job plans. So mmouse2, who we just added on the previous page, is now here. So we could enter information around how their DCC and SPA time is split. So maybe they have 10 and 4 sessions. And one of the nice things you can build in here is, first of all, an ability to add free text comments. So agency staff, onboarded December 23, as well as error checks to help you understand where things may be not fully broken down. So we can see here I've added a top level for the DCC and SPA hour splits, but I've received a warning to say, hang on, those breakdowns haven't been complete. So as soon as we put that this person is split 6 sessions in outpatients, 3 in theatres, 1 in admin, this error message has now changed to say it's only the SPA that is incomplete. And again, if I split that evenly between CPD and education, that error message goes away. And again, all of these columns are completely configurable, as are the error traps. And what you can do on the back of this is build a number of visualization tools to summarize, look, how is my DCC to SPA ratio split by different consultant grades, by different specialties, by different sites. There's also quite a nice feature here in that you can see how figures have changed over time. So there's an inbuilt audit trail. So if I look at this first consultant, Sienna Edwards, I can see someone's left a comment here to see they increased the amount of time that was spent on ward rounds in December. And if I just click into this cell, I can see that yes, this was changed on the 18th of December from a previous value of 1 to a new value of 1.5, and this change was made by David McDwyer. So again, being able to see live changes within a platform, as well as revert back to earlier versions if needed, is quite a powerful feature of Anaplan. A couple of other nice planning features we'll look at that kind of really help support the planning process more generally is this idea of it being a plan that evolves over time. So currently I'm planning for December 23, and you may decide at a point in time that you want to start planning for January 24. Now currently we can see that there is an option to change this plan to January 24, but I can't currently write any information into here. So this has essentially been locked down. Again, what you can do as a process is decide, right, my December 23 plan is now completed, that I've added this extra consultant. So again, you can have some fairly user-friendly functionality in terms of submitting a plan. So our December 23 plan is now locked down. I can't change anything. And if I go into the January 24 plan, this is now editable and I can enter values. You may decide as part of this that actually one of the things that's most helpful is to roll forward your previous information from the December 23 plan. And again, you can set in place processes and actions to support this. Again, all of this being completely configurable for an end user. So I've now got my January 24 plan based on the information captured in the previous month. And maybe I decide for this month, actually, the only change is that this person is going to have a slight reduction in hours from 6 to 5, 5.5 to 4.5. And again, you could view how these plans are changing over time through some common BI visualizations if you wanted. So let's just delete this plan and revert back to the initial page. So this shows quite a few nice bits of functionality. We've seen how from a workforce perspective, you can include direct links to other sources, which supports reducing admin time. We've seen how you can kind of pre-populate the data directly within the tool through forms, and again, controlling those forms to reduce risk of human error in terms of typing words incorrectly or sites incorrectly. And that ultimately you can use the tool for planning purposes to kind of adjust information on an ongoing basis. One of the things that we included in the tool as well at the start is this idea to kind of have top level views. So we can see for North Manchester General, I actually submitted that December plan, whereas January is still open. But again, once I'm ready with this macro plan, I can submit. And you can have a top level view of what is the progress across multiple sites in various aspects of planning. So another thing that's probably worth looking at is how this maybe delves from job plans into certain clinics. So again, this is a very high level demo, and we're currently working with different organizations to develop this tool further. But if we have a quick look at clinics, we can see again, you could have a number of user input screens to say, well, what are the different clinics that I have in place at the moment? And let's say that this agency person that I just added is now going to be responsible for Clinic D, which is a trauma and orthopedics clinic. Again, I've made this very quick change in terms of how clinics are configured to workforce. And if I go into my clinic capacity section, which is including a lot of user input around how clinics are configured, I can very easily select the information I'm looking for. So again, this is Clinic D. We can now see that this clinic is led by mmouse2, which I'd done on the previous page. And again, I have a number of drop downs to say, well, how is this clinic configured on a day-by-day basis? So maybe this is now a consultant-led session on a Wednesday for emergency clinics, and this is a procedure clinic that runs all day for 8 hours every week, as well as other supporting information around number of slots that are available for urgent, routine and cancer cases. So hopefully this demonstrates that if different organisations have different templates that they use for planning purposes, it is fairly straightforward to transpose these into Anaplan. But by taking this step, you're transposing them into a platform that can host information about multiple sites in a single location with error checks to support data quality and also to provide linkages between data that reduces admin time. Some of the other nice features around this are that you can have a lot of controls in the background of what different users can access. So currently I'm logged in as David McDwyer, and we can see that I have access to 2 hospitals. But again, you can envisage a world where actually what you want to do is to change David's access so that he now can perform planning purposes for, let's say, 2 extra sites. And again, now when David accesses the platform, he'll be able to see more options here for planning purposes. So just while this page loads, we can see these 2 extra trusts are there. So Clinical and Scientific and St. Mary's. And again, from the top level perspective, we can see how in progress those plans are. So this is a really nice way of kind of segmenting what different users need to plan for, as well as supporting change in roles. The final point for this demonstration is to just set out Arden GEM's wider ambition for tools like this. So in this demonstration, we talked through some examples of how you can take a largely spreadsheet-based process, convert it into Anaplan with some enhanced functionality that has a number of clear benefits. Our ultimate ambition for an integrated business planning tool is to expand this out. So we don't want to look at just workforce. We want to look at activity planning, finance planning, performance planning, and ultimately have links between these different areas. So you could understand, well, what is the activity being delivered by my workforce? What is the finance costs associated with delivering certain types of activity across different pathways? And ultimately apply scenario tests so that you could stress, well, if I have a change in workforce, if I have a change in activity, what will be the impacts on different areas within an organisation? And that's the end of our demonstration.